Hey, welcome to Jack's Tech Corner. This is another official unboxing video. Now today we're going to be unboxing my new microphone preamp. Now this is a DBX unit, and we'll give you the model number in just a second as we get this box unboxed. Now the preamplifier is, obviously, if you're watching this video, enables you to increase your audio of your microphone. And you can see here I use the SM7B Shure microphone. So we want to increase the preamplification of that and get a better audio signal into my mixer behind me. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it. It just came in today from Amazon. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at this mixer. So I think I said we're going to go ahead and have a look at this mixer. We're going to go ahead and have a look at this preamplifier. Now this is the DBX286S. Obviously it was in the title of the video, I'm sure. And it's a mic preamp and a processor. This is what the unit looks like. We will get a little closer view here of it. And you can see it there in the box. We're going to take it out of the box and have a look at it. Now I've been looking at this microphone preamp for a while now, and thinking about buying it, and I finally decided to go ahead and place the order to purchase it. I'm going to open up here. Now, anything bad about this, it's a single channel unit, so it's only for one microphone, but I most of the time only have one microphone. When I have a guest in my studio for a podcast or for a video, I can always plug more mics into the mixer and maybe not take them through the preamp, but they'll still be, there's still gain on the mixer itself, and there's a built-in preamp. It's just I wanted this to be a lot cleaner for my SM7B. So we obviously have a power cord. We have some screws here that you can mount this into a cabinet. I obviously don't have a cabinet. And I will show you probably in another video hooking this thing up. And you'll see it's going to go up on top of my rack here. If you can see up on top, we'll try to get a view of that. It looks like the camcorder is down a little bit low. But anyway, there's a limiter gate up here now that I already have. So we're going to be adding this to my components. And the thing I don't like about a lot of people's unboxing, they don't tell you about the connectors in the back. So I've done a lot of research and a lot of studying on the connectors. And I'm going to go over those with you so you'll understand how those work. It's a heavy unit, so it's a well-built unit, and there's a line gain on it. There's a built-in compressor. There's a de-esser on it. There's an enhancer, and then there's an expander gate, and then you have your output. Most people leave their output set on this thing to 0. That's pretty amazing to me. So here's the front of the unit, right here, and there you go. That's the front of the unit. That's what it looks like. And on the back of the unit, what people don't tell you about most of the time is the back of the unit. We're going to try to take a closer look here at the back of the unit. And I'm going to explain these to you. The microphone input itself is here. That's for your XLR microphone. It does have a line input, so you can bring a line input into it. Then you have your insert and your output. Now the insert is what people don't talk about. The insert, such as I have a limiter gate. Now the limiter gate itself will be inserted into here, so I can still use my limiter gate directly with my new preamp. And then the output will go out of here with a 1/4 inch jack, and it's a mono cable. We'll take the mono cable out of here and run it back down to my line in on my channel 1 of my mixer. And that is exactly how this thing works. So it's very, very simplistic. It's not really brain or rocket scientist to hook one of these up. And we're going to hook it up and we're going to see exactly what we have here overall and see how this thing works. So that's what my next part is now. I'm going to plug it in, hook it up, and we're going to see what kind of audio we get out of this thing. And I should even probably at some point do some sound comparisons to what I'm already using to this to the new preamp. So thanks for watching this official unboxing. Okay, so now we have the new DBX286S Microphone Preamp Processor in line here. That's what you're listening to right now. The audio is a lot different than my lapel microphone from my camcorder, obviously, because this is a straight setup podcasting studio and a video studio now. But so that's why I'm on my SM7B microphone, and I have it plugged directly into the XLR into the actual DBX286S processor. And then I went to from the outside that I showed you in the unboxing video, and I took that audio into my mixer. Now that allows me to control the volume just from the mixer, and I can mix it into my overall broadcast or my commercials or whatever I want to do with my podcast. Now, with that said, we're going to take a little walk through here of the DBX 286S, and I'm going to kind of show you around here the best I can. The first thing I had to do was get the settings properly adjusted for me for my microphone, for the room, to make sure we're not picking up any room noise, and that's just the way it's set up. On the top there, you see my Alas. Anyway, you'll see my limiter gate on the top. It's a 3830 compressor, and it's got a built-in compressor limiter with a gate. And it's a 2-channel, even though the 286S is a 1-channel soundbar, the limiter gate is a 2-channel. And the other microphone input on this side over here, you'll see nothing happening because that's plugged into my other mic when I have guests in the studio or when somebody's podcasting with me. So what we're going to do now is just give you a brief overview of this actual device. The first bar here, the first knob, is your overall gain. And you see I have it almost all the way up. The SM7B requires a lot of gain for the microphone to pick you up. And that's why I have the gain almost all the way up. You can see here I'm going about 10 to minus 10 on my line level here. So the audio is going in very well because we got some nice lights. If you go all the way over to yellow, that's a caution light. And then you go over to the red, that's a clipping light. So if you get that far over, you're going to start clipping, and that's not a good thing. We know that for sure. The next one here is 48-volt phantom power. That's if you have a microphone, like a condenser type microphone that requires phantom power, such as the MXL 990, the MXL 770, amongst, I'm sure, many condenser mics out there. You just click add-on, and then that will power your microphone so you can actually use it and talk. The next one here, if you hear me listening, this is a bypass filter, and it's an 80 hertz bypass filter. If we turn it off, you can hear right there how the audio has actually changed. The overall audio has changed with that. It may, I don't know, it may even sound more natural, but this high pass filter gives it more of a kick, and it eliminates any static or anything in your signal. And you can see where it's a lot cleaner, and now it's a lot better. The next button here is the processor bypass. So if you press this button, everything from this knob all the way down here to the end actually is deactivated. And if we turn that on, you'll see here that it is deactivated, and we're not getting any real audio or compression. Not compression, but we're not getting any drive or anything out of this stuff. Compressor, the de-esser, or anything enhancer. So we'll turn it back on, and we'll bring it right back into the mixer. So that's the way we want it to go. The next knob here is your drive knob, and as you drive it, you can drive it up actually and bring it up even higher. And all that means is if you get your drive too high, I found out many times in the past, what happens there is you start to pick up a lot of room noise. So you have to be very careful of your drive. You don't want to overdrive your mic. And when you're working a professional audio microphone, you don't want that audio microphone to be so high anyway that, I know guys like to sit back. They don't want their mic to be seen in their shot or whatever. But if you're working a professional audio microphone, such as the SM7B, the RE20s, those mics, and the Howe PR40 microphones, you want to be able to talk directly into the microphone. And the idea there is you don't need any soundproofing in your room to worry about the echoes or audio or anything in the room, because we're right on the microphone itself. So that is drive. The density here, you see we have it set straight to 5. If we turn the density, we can actually change the audio level, the overall audio level. If I go up, If I go back down, you can see where I can actually lower the audio levels there. So I kind of liked it on 5 or 6. I'm right about there, about 5.5. It felt pretty good for my setup. The next thing we have here is frequency response with the de-esser. Now the de-esser you got to be careful about because that's exactly what it does. It can drop your S's and your sounds, and you have to play around with these knobs a little bit. But I got it about 4, about 5 actually, setting right on 5. But if I go down, you'll see where there's different audio, different frequency level for my voice. If I go back up, you'll see that there's a little bit different response there. So I liked it right about 5, and we're going to leave it sitting there. The threshold is how much or how often this kicks in. You can see here my lights, my little dB lights going white and red. And if we turn that down, you can see where we get nothing at all. So at that point, what it's doing, the threshold, is it's not dropping the compressor, is what's doing. It's not dropping the power. So we're going to bring that back up a little bit, right about there, just so we got a little bit of activity on the lights. And it was told to me that you don't want those to stay on all the time. So they're flashing and they're doing their job. Now we have what's called the low frequency detail and the high frequency detail. Now, in playing with this, the low frequency detail, the low frequency enhancer, what that does is increases the bass. So let's just talk a little bit here and you'll see how much more bass we'll get to it. There's a 5 and there's an 8 right there. You can see how we're getting really, really bassy. I'm not changing my voice. I'm just simply changing the box itself. And there's a 10. So 10 is very, very deep. You get that very, very low sound. And that is what the lows do. So I like this to just be set to off. I think it's a more natural sounding voice if it's off. Now, if you go high frequency, that brings up the treble in your voice, the treble. So if we bring this up, you'll hear that it's going to get a little bit weird sounding, and we can bring this higher. Now, so you can bring it all the way up to 10, and you can see how much my voice quality has changed. It changed a lot, so we can bring it back down. Maybe you just want to add a little bit. Maybe you want to add 5. But I tend to just thought that, I think that it sounds better just with it being off. We don't have to worry about that at all. Maybe you want to bring it back up a little bit. Maybe you want to about it on 3 there. So that will bring, again, your high frequency from your voice up. The next thing here, we have an expander gate. So technically, I don't need my compressor limiter gate up here, because the soundbar has a built-in expander gate. Now, when you're playing with this threshold, I'm going to shut this one off on the top here, and we'll deactivate that one. And what you want to do is just turn it down low enough until this light over here, this green and red light, is actually green. And right there, you should hear some static. That's actually room noise. That's what you're hearing. So we bring that up until that light just turns red. And then I bring it just a little bit more there. And now you hear no background noise. There's no noise in the background at all. And I tend to drive this just a little bit higher than when the light goes off. And that's just in case you have any. See, because if you get clapping or if you cough, the idea of that is you can turn your head away from the microphone and you can actually cut that cough out. Now, have a little bit of caution here, because I found if I do that and I get real aggressive with it, what tends to happen is I'll be talking and my voice cuts off, especially if you start talking low, and then your voice will start getting choppy, and it's kind of weird. The ratio is when it's going to release. So if we bring this down, and you see it's releasing very fast now, if you bring it up, you can see where it would be very, very aggressive, and it would actually change the overall voice quality of your voice here. So we want to bring it down just so these lights are flashing when you're talking. And when you don't talk, it should be red. So red, the gate is closed. Green is when you're talking, the gate is open. And that is how you want that to maintain itself. Again, if we go all the way down, you can see there where it's closed very fast. If you bring it all the way up there, you can see where now it is closing very slowly. I tend to like to bring it down there. And some people get messed up with these lights. They're like, well, man, my lights are flashing so fast that I don't think it's working right. No, that is exactly the way it should work. No problem whatsoever. Now, I'm going to turn my compressor limiter gate back on, and I'm going to show you that the voice quality is different because I have compression coming also through this device on top. Now, we put that back in line. You can see now how much different my voice is. And so I think it adds some punch. Now, I didn't tell you this earlier on, but this top box, instead of plugging it directly into the soundbar, I went out of it and I went into my insert into the mixer. So if your mixer has a 1/4-inch jack with your mic input and it is marked insert, that is exactly what that's for. That is for you to insert an audio, an audio processor, or something like maybe an equalizer or something. So you have more control over your overall audio. So that is what that's for. But I have it plugged right into the mixer instead of going into the insert of the soundbar. The last one here is your output. And my output, you don't have to have a lot of output because everything else is adding power and everything else is outputting. So we don't need this gain very high. I have it set to 1. Let's take it up to 5. And we'll take it all the way up to maybe 10. And you can hear how much more audio there is. There's a lot. So I tend to like to keep it down to about 1. And that seems very, very good for me. Because again, I adjust the microphone. But remember, this is the overall output. The gain when you're talking, if your microphone's not picking you up at the distance you want to adjust the line input here and the drive to drive that microphone level up. So hopefully that helps you out there a little bit and you understand more about that. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video of my new DBX286S. And is that correct? See, I got it. My DBX286S. And I truly appreciate that. And I'm glad that you watched the video until the end here. Just so I can tell you that if you want to learn more about podcasting, or if you've never been a podcaster, you said, well, what kind of equipment do I need? How do I set up a website? How do I upload my audio files? And how do I get them on iTunes? I take you through every step of the way for podcasting to teach you how to podcast. And it's a great series of videos. And if you can check that out, now it is a paid course, but check it out anyway. And you can check it out at digitalbiz.co. Digitalbiz.co, not com.co. So it's digital, digitalbiz.co. Check that out and click on the link for the online course. And then check the course out. Look at, you'll see all the topics in there. You won't be able to take them until you pay for the course. But you'll see everything in there I cover, and I cover it from start to finish. Folks, I've been building podcasts since 2005, so I've been doing this a long, long time. And I'm just happy now that I can share this audio with you and video and show you how the actual the new preamplifier works with the mic. This is the microphone I was talking about earlier. This is the SM7B. Now, you don't need to buy an SM7B. There's many of good mics out there. You can even run, the trick is, I found with microphones, straight microphones are one thing, but the trick is if you process your audio is going to be a lot better. So, the first step is to have a microphone and a mixer. If you do that, it's going to be much, much better. And that's kind of what all these videos take you through. And it teaches you each step of the way. It tells you how to hook things up and connect them. That's very important. And I know, don't get me wrong, you can play. You're saying, Jack, I can watch these on YouTube. You can. And there's a lot of videos on podcasting on YouTube. But this is a straight together course. I take you through each step of the way. And once you pay for the lessons, I never take you off the course. So it's a lifetime commitment for you as far as when you're creating a podcast, you go, wow, I want to put a limiter gate on, because you don't need to start to have one of those. And I show you that part also, how to add a limiter gate. So again, thank you so much for watching me here, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't like to do just a traditional unboxing. I like to unbox and then show you how to hook it up, show you what it does. I think that's more critical than just unboxing itself. So take care. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed to my channel here at 42 Technoman on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and follow along with me. And again, check out that lessons at digitalbiz.co. digitalbiz.co. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time here on Jack's Tech Corner. Bye for now.